I want to give an analogy. Most of you that have been exposed to this channel through my content, whether it be live, the live podcast and or the published content that I do throughout the week, you know I love giving analogies, metaphors, similes, hyperboles. I use all of them. There's a metaphor I want to use. D-Town, I've said this when we were chilling together about a month or two ago, and I'm going to say it again. And I think if people hear this analogy, they will understand why my perspective of Terence Ball Crawford saying, I know my worth, is the perspective that I have. Now, all of us understand this, whether you're a male or a female watching this live broadcast. When I give this metaphor, you will understand exactly what I mean. Now, I see Blackston Bruce, who is also from Nebraska. He's in the background. I'm gonna let you two gentlemen on. Just give me 1 second. You all can understand and relate to this. Everyone in the chat watching the live replay of this podcast, people on the panel, everybody watching this all across the world have heard at least one woman. I'm just using the woman for references purposes. This is not a direct shot or disrespect to women. People know I love the ladies. They're in the chat. Salute to you all women in the chat and watching this, right? We've heard at least one woman say the words, I know my worth. We've heard at least one woman say it. I know my worth, right? Now, let's break that down into its lowest common denominator so we can apply this to this Terence Ball Crawford thing so I can explain to you why my perspective is the way it is. I asked several women in the past, right? How old were you when you wanted to get married? These are single women that were not married. Check it out now. And some women told me when they were 18 years old, since they were 17 years old, since they were 16 years old, since they were 20 years old. And the demographic of women that I asked this question, whether it be family, friends, etc., relationship, whatever, they all were in the age bracket of 35 to 40 years of age. So my question to them was, if you were 16 years of age and you wanted to be married since you were 16 years old, you are now 36 years old. If y'all can mute your I hear a lot of feedback in the background. Panelists. If you're 16 years old since you wanted to be married, you are 36 years old now. You're still not married. So for 20 years, you've been with this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, may have dated long term, may have a child or may not have a child. For 20 years, you wanted to be married. From the age of 16 to, let's use, 36 years old. You never got the results that you wanted. But yet I'm hearing you say, I know my worth. And they say, well, Marty, what is the point of you bringing that up? You might be saying, Manager Marty, what is the point of you bringing that up, referencing that to Crawford saying he knows his worth? Because your worth is not based on what you think and what you feel. It's based on results. And it's based on results by the two P's, performance and projection. So if someone's trying to invest in a woman as a man, I see the viewership increasing. Oh my God. I get excited when the viewership is increasing exponentially because somebody's going to learn something today. If an investor is making an investment for business purposes, if a man is making an investment in a woman's life for relational purposes, right? You mean to tell me you know your worth based on how you feel and based on what you think, but you haven't received the results that you were looking for 20 years as a woman, but you know your worth. For year after year, we've heard Terence Ball Crawford say he knows his worth. But the results of this worth that he keeps saying he knows has not been produced yet. His pay-per-view numbers speak for itself. His live gait speaks for itself when he's not in Omaha, Nebraska fighting. His mentality speaks for itself. The point that I'm making is when you know your worth, that means you should have some kind of evidence to substantiate your perspective of knowing your worth. Let me give it to you in another context of a different sports. Let's say football. Jalen Hurts just signed a $200 million contract with over $180 million fully guaranteed. The reason why he got that money is because of results. His performance, right? Means the way that he made those adjustments from the offseason all the way throughout the regular season, game in, game out, game in, game out, game after game, taking the team to the Super Bowl. Whether he won or lost isn't the point. His performance spoke for itself. Projection-wise is his stock just rose. By him taking this team to the Super Bowl in his second year on a rookie contract, they're projecting his merchandise sales, his fan base, his productivity moving forward, and that's where that money has come in at. And I believe this, and I am not an Eagles fan, even though I'm from Philly. Most of you know that. Jalen Hurts earned that money. So when you talk about your worth, you have to produce results. And Terence Crawford has not produced the results to demand a company open their books. He hasn't produced the results to say he knows his worth. He hasn't produced the results to say he wants 60% of the 100% revenue and Spence supposed to get 40%. He has not made any production to be able to substantiate the fact that he deserves to get paid more than what he's asking for. And it's no different from a woman who's saying that she knows her worth and she's unable to produce results proving that for the last 20 years, she figured out the reason why she hasn't been successful in her pursuit of being a wife. And it's the same concept for men. I'm just using women as an example because we hear more women say, I know my worth than men. And that's the point.